The Egyptian army says 241 people have been killed in the Sinai in the past 5 days, all of them terrorists. There are frequent reports of deaths among civilians, but the authorities have never admitted to so-called collateral damage.
القوات المسلحة بتعلن بشكل مستمر عن أعداد القتلى من الإرهابيين.
The armed forces frequently announces the death toll from the terrorists. There are civilians killed in the process, primarily from the terrorists, but sometimes from army operations that weren't fortunate to successfully target militants. Militants, however, killed more than 100 who they believe give information to the army. They too sometimes miss targeting a checkpoint, and their missiles hit residential houses.
وتم استهداف بالفعل أكثر من 100 عنصر من المدنيين.
There is no official record of civilian casualties since the trouble in the Sinai flared up in July 2013. But dozens of residents are thought to have died, and experts say it's difficult to prevent further casualties.
There is no 100% guarantee that civilians will be safe. We are in a state of war, and it's possible that more civilians will be killed. But this is not the responsibility of the army. It is the terrorist organizations that have involved these residents and are moving their operations from remote areas to populated locations. It is also impossible to segregate because militants are basically civilians who develop extremist ideologies, then carry arms. The army would never target residential areas, but sometimes the battle extends there.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has spoken of aborting military operations in the Sinai because militants were hiding among civilians. There has also been a forced clearance of homes along the border to create a buffer zone with the Gaza Strip, but no other measures to safeguard civilians have been announced. Egypt lacks the technology of guided missiles and smart bombs, so even when the army is targeting terrorists, there's a bigger margin of error with their projectiles. And in a community where militants live in villages and cities, civilians could become victims. Adel, Mahrouky, CCTV, Cairo.